Hey everybody, it's Monday nights right around 8 p.m. So that means I'm live on Facebook talking about pro wrestling. And today we got a humongous guest. It's unbelievable. Wow. Now, several years ago, when I first got, heavy into pro wrestling, I started to go back and watch, lots of other matches, kind of, get in there and really try to learn as much as I can. And one of the things that I noticed was there was this guy that would come out and he would read poems and he was a real jerk to everybody. And his name was Lanny Poffo, the Genius. And I thought, this guy is incredible. He is a tremendous wrestler. And not only that, but he does some of my favorite bad guy shenanigans I've ever seen. So, he's always been one of my favorite wrestlers. And I know that sounds silly, but to me, I think this guy's tremendous. And, we got this big thing coming up that we're going to talk about in detail. Primetime Wrestling's holding an event, and Lanny Poffo's coming, and I thought I'd reach out to him and see maybe he wanted to talk about it a little bit. So, turns out he did. So, I'm going to go ahead and try to invite him on, and we may have a little bit of difficulty here at the beginning just figuring out how to get connected, but we'll see here. I've been assured Mr. Poffo is a genius, so, the smartest man in the world should definitely be able to figure this out. So let's see here. There we go. Lanny Poffo is watching. He is joining us now. And we'll see how this works out. Mr. Poffo, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Are we on the air?
Absolutely. You look great.
Oh, man. You need to get your eyes checked. I'm okay of it.
Well, how are you doing today? Where are you in the country, and what you been up to?
I'm in Clearwater, Florida at my home, and I'm walking distance from Whole Foods and a fantastic gym that I'm not going to give the name of. So I wear my pants really high, and I walk to the Whole Foods, and I walk to the gym, and I complain about the music that you young punks listen to.
Well, I can understand that. I'm actually not a young punk. I'm almost 40 years old, so I'm doing the same kinds of things that you're doing these days. But you have some.
40 is middle age. Because I know people that are 80, but I don't know anybody that's 126. And that's what so I'm 63, so I'm on the declining.
Well, none of us can tell, I'll tell you that much. So, a man who was a genius in his youth is still clearly going to be smarter than, an average Joe like myself, even, at an advanced age, quote unquote. So,
So the elevator doesn't get to the top anymore, but I'm going to do the best I can. Do your best and do the best.
Awesome. Well, now you are coming to Kentucky, is that right?
That's right, but I was hoping that you would tell all the details to the fans because I just take it one moment at a time.
Absolutely. Now, everybody who knows me knows that I love a promotion in Paris, Kentucky called Primetime Wrestling, run by legendary Larry D. and Daryl Kelly, the bare-knuckle boxer himself. And you're going to be there on May 6th for a meet and greet. Anybody who buys a gold ticket or buys a silver ticket at $10 or $12 respectively will get to meet the Genius themselves. Are you excited about this?
I am totally excited about it, but then I am easily excited.
Well, I'll tell you what, anybody watching this or listening to this is going to be very excited to meet you. It's been a while since Primetime Wrestling has had anybody of your caliber. Now, you have a deep history in Kentucky pro wrestling. Tell me a little bit about ICW.
From 1979 to 1985, we were in all the howlers and all the backwoods and every single place you can go in Kentucky. And not only that, but Indiana, Illinois, West Virginia, every place. That was West by God, Virginia.
Wow. Well, that is tremendous. We I've heard a lot of stories about you and your family running around there in Kentucky and getting in all kinds of shenanigans. Do you have anything you could share with us quickly, like a short story about running around down there?
No matter what you heard, we have a perfect record, 11 arrests, no convictions.
11-0. That's tremendous. Wow. Well, that is awesome. Now, this meet and greet thing's going to be pretty great. You're going to get to meet a lot of fans that are going to remember you from back in the day. Because there's a lot of fans that have been around a long time that'll be at this PTW show. I have a very specific request though, and I was wondering if this is something that you could do. I need a picture holding out my left hand to Lanny Poffo. Tell me about that a little bit, because I don't think anybody gets that. When I mentioned to someone once, oh, I love how the Genius would hold out his left hand for a handshake, people were like, well, they said, well, what does that matter? Tell me about that a little bit.
Well, I was leaping Lanny for about 5 years in the WWE, which was the WWF. And then I was working on my gimmick as the Genius. And I was very much influenced by Peter Sellers, who played Inspector Clouseau in the Pink Panther. And he always thought he was really smart, but he was really dumb. And I knew that you idiot, that was only testing you. So I also got influenced by Jack Benny, who after every joke where he made a fool of himself, he went, well. So my character, the Genius, I was not really that smart. I was just thinking he was smart, and that way I could play the fool and have the comedy. It was a comedy gimmick. So, and the guy that really enjoyed it the most and did something about it was Hulk Hogan. He came to me and said, Lanny, I love the way your gimmick is working. I got an idea. Would you mind if I mocked you? And I said, oh, I think that's okay. Go ahead and mock me. I don't care. And next thing you know, I'm on NBC, and I offered the left hand to Hulk Hogan. And his left hand. Then I go right hand, right hand. And he goes, no. And there I looked like a fool. But that's okay, because it was my one brief shining moment with Hulk Hogan. And after that, we were on main events all over the WWF or E for 4 months. So when I think about my 21-year career, I have temporary amnesia. I just want to remember the good times.
Well, when I talked to you on the phone a couple days ago, I mentioned that's always been one of my favorite matches. I absolutely love that match. I think that the work in it is spectacular. And I was wondering, can you break down this equation that you got? I mean, there was a weight. There was, I think, maybe the size of Hulk Hogan's arms, and then Hulk down. How did you get from this to this,
Well, it was showbiz. See, I had a marker, and I had my scroll and a piece of paper, and I wrote down an equation. I don't remember what it was. It came, one of those is greater than or is less than things, But hey, hang on, I'll show you something. Hang on, can you, one moment?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Lanny Poffo has disappeared. I'm assuming to get some kind of incredible memorabilia. Who knows what he could be going to grab? Maybe the scroll itself, written out already. But anyone just joined? Oh, my God, what's he got there?
It's the cover of my comic book, and it's got the equation on it, except it's a ridiculously complicated equation. The actual equation. But this tells the story of my brother, my father, and myself in Lexington, Kentucky. And it tells the whole story. And I'll tell you what, let me leave you one more time. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I got to get the Hall of Fame ring. Hang on.
Oh, my God. He's going to get the Hall of Fame ring. Now, if you're listening to this on the audio version, you are missing out because we're seeing some cool stuff here. And not only that, but I'm very interested to find out where we could get a hold of one of those magazines he had there. Oh, my goodness. Holy moly. Wow.
Now, what I'm going to do the reason that they should come out to this meet and greet, and by the way, I'm going to be in Hazard, Kentucky on May the 5th. Don't
Okay.
forget that. Okay, I'm going to be in Hazard May the 5th, and then I'm going to be May the 6th. It's going to be from 5 o'clock to 6:30, and it's going to be a meet and greet. And now, just in case you're wondering, is it worth it to meet and greet me? Well, maybe it isn't, but I've got something very special that you can't afford to say no to. I'm going to bring the Macho Man Hall of Fame ring that I accepted posthumously for my brother, and I'm going to take it off, and the fans get to wear the ring, and he gets to make a fist, and I take a picture with the fan and holding the ring. Now that is a keepsake. You have to come see me because I'm going to let you have a piece of history, a photo on your cell phone with me, you holding the ring up, and that is worth it. That is a keepsake. I'm very proud of that because
And just to hit that again, so if you're not understanding this, if you can't hear this for some reason, Lanny Poffo, Leaping Lanny Poffo, the genius himself, is going to basically hand you the Hall of Fame ring that he accepted on behalf of his brother posthumously at the cost, and you can get a picture at the cost of $10 or $12. That is tremendous, my friend. Wow, that's incredible, and that is a gift to the fans right there.
Now, maybe I wasn't the greatest wrestler you've ever seen, just a guy with a gimmick, but I'm going to tell you what, nobody is nicer to the fans than yours truly. Because when I was 12 years old, I came up to Art Linkletter and asked him for his autograph, and he told me to buzz off, but he didn't say buzz. And it hurt me so deeply. I was so upset that when I became a wrestler, I said, well, whatever happens to my wrestling career, I'm never going to be too busy to be nice to the fans, because, and as a matter of fact, my brother didn't want to go in the Hall of Fame. He was angry and bitter and resentful and everything. But when I turned 59, I was the oldest now because I had caught him. I had caught my brother. It was a 2-year advantage he had on me. And I said, now that I am the oldest in the family, I get to make the unpopular decisions now. So I told my mom, putting Randy in the Hall of Fame, and she said, you can't do that. That wasn't his wishes. And I said, never mind the wishes of the Macho Man. There's only one of those. I'm talking about the millions and millions of Macho fans, and they deserve to see the Macho Man in the Hall of Fame, besides to give them something else to complain about. So
wow.
I finally got the Hall of Fame, and I convinced my mom it was the right thing to do. And she recently died at the age of 90, June the 3rd of last year. And but I managed to persuade her that this is the right thing to do because the fans are more important than the promoters or the wrestlers. Without the fans, the sport does not exist. Everything good that happened in my life are because of a wrestling fan. So they get a chance. Wherever I go, I'm going to bring this ring, and they get to wear it. Now, if you have the ring on and you run like a thief, well, then we're going to see how young and how much spring in my step I really have at the age of 63.
Well, I don't think we'll have to see that. I don't think. I think the fans at PTW are going to be very respectful, especially to someone like yourself. My goodness, that was some amazing stuff, man. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. Do you have any details about this Hazard appearance and where that is at all?
Well, actually, I had my picture taken with Daisy Duke a while back.
Okay.
And, yes, and she was lovely. And I suspect that she's had some work done. But she's really, because anyway, it was, all I know is that in Hazard, it's going to be May the 5th on Saturday, and then on Sunday, May the 6th from 5 to 6:30. Now, I expect you to do all the hustling and bustling and find out when this is going to be. Because, like I say, I only know the elevator doesn't get to the top anymore. I only know the short strokes.
Well, I'll take care of that for you. That's no problem whatsoever.
You
You
better
know,
take it too.
now,
Yeah, it's going to be real big for you.
now we have had, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but you know, we have had many, many requests in the chat here for poetry. Now, I wasn't going to ask you about that, but I'm assuming that's something that you get asked all the time, and people ask, well, which one was your favorite one? And I know you classically have tons of them, memorized. Tell us about that a little bit.
Okay, when I was in the Hall of Fame inducting my brother, the poem I did was, let's see, I stand before the Hall of Fame in honor of my brother who seized each carpe diem day with passion like no other. Born Randy Mario Poffo, he became the macho man. Randy Savage made it cool to be a wrestling fan. His match with Ricky Steamboat in 1987 was on a scale from 1 to 10, much better than 11. He snapped into a Slim Jim with his iconic voice. He earned a role in Spider-Man, which made his fans rejoice. When the powers exploded, the storyline was real. Life's too short to hold a grudge. It's time for us to heal. In triumphant jubilation, we celebrate his name. Finally, the Macho Man in the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Wow. Incredible, man. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Wow. Now, you did pull out this comic book earlier. How do we get a hold of one of those?
Well, the first time I'm going to be anywhere with it is going to be at WrestleCon coming up on WrestleMania. And then I'll probably, by that time, have a whole bunch of comic books to bring perhaps to Paris and also to Hazard. Hopefully. I can't guarantee.
Well, you might sell out, so.
Well, that's the trouble. I can't keep them on the shelf, and I haven't even released it yet. But they go that quickly because the art is really fine and it's a first-class setup.
Hey, did you have anything to do with the writing of the dialogue, and is there any rhyming in that at all?
Oh, some of my better poems are in there, and some of my worst poems.
Awesome. Well, if you don't sell out of those at WrestleCon, when you bring them to the area that the stories are about in Paris, Kentucky, right near Lexington, those things are going to go like hotcakes. I want to buy 3 of them right now, So I think those are going to be great. And anything you have like that you'd like to, unload on some fans, bring that to Paris with you, and those people are going to buy it if I don't.
Okay, well, if I have the product, I'll put it on the shelf. Let's put it that way.
Outstanding.
They can't print enough of them because there's tremendous demand.
That's awesome. Well, I can't thank you enough for doing this. This is like the coolest thing ever. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Just to go over once again, we have you in Hazard, Kentucky on the 5th of May, which is a Saturday. Then Sunday at Primetime Wrestling, the Sportatorium in Paris, Kentucky. It starts at 5 o'clock. It's going to end, right before the show starts, and you can get in for $10 or $12 and wear Macho Man's Hall of Fame ring. Holy moly!
Yes, moly.
Outstanding. Well, do you have any other messages for us? Any other stories you want to tell us? Anything else that you want to get out there into the world so that we can support Lanny Poffo and the legend that your family represents?
Let me see. Now, everybody knows that my father put a mask on and wrestled as the Miser. Okay? And I wrote a poem for my father at his funeral. And that was on he died on March the 4th of 2010 at the age of almost 85. And 2 days later, I'm in Downers Grove, Illinois, and I give this poem. And it was back in 1945 on Independence Day. The Nazis surrendered. Japan was on its way. My dad was in the Navy, as history will tell. as he was bleeding through the mats. A world record fell. He did 6,000 sit-ups with an extra 33 to glorify our Savior who died on Calvary. And Robert Ripley's speaker celebrated this event, giving credence to success, not an accident. That's always been his motto through times both good and bad. He's a real Hall of Famer, the world's greatest dad. Thank you.
Wow. That's amazing, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
I'm proud to say that you and I are friends on Facebook now. I had people to make room for you, but we did it.
Well, thank you. I can't, I've said that 50 times already, but I can't, there's not a word, thank you is the only word I can come up with that expresses how I feel right now. Is thankful, and I'm really happy to talk to you, and hopefully this isn't the last time. If you ever have anything you need to get out there and you want the world to know about it, I'm your guy, and I'm happy to help you.
Know that on May the 5th, I'm coming to Hazard.
Yes, sir.
And on May the 6th, Sunday, May the 6th, I'm coming from 5 to 6:30 to Paris, and I'm going to throw in a little kicker. For any fans that make both towns, Hazard and Paris, I am going to do something very, very special as a surprise for them. Don't ask me what it is. But if I recognize you, that you traveled all the way to Hazard and then turned around and went all the way to Paris, something fantastic is going to happen for you. Something legal. Just barely.
Wow. Well, that's another added bonus. I mean, if there's anybody that understands value and added value, it's the genius. You do your math equation, you come up with Hulk down. Right now, you just came up with full houses. That's what you just came up with. So that's really great stuff, man.
My famous poem from the Hulk Hogan match. There's only one man smart enough to put Hulk Hogan down. The genius has a devastating plan. You're looking at the future World Wrestling Federation, who appeals to the modern thinking fan. When I emerge victorious with gold around my waist, I shall be the most splendiferous of all. Don't tell me Hulk is 6'8" and I'm just 6'2". Between the ears, I'm over 10 feet tall. He wants to wrap his 24-inch pythons around my neck and give his famous, "What you gonna do?" By the power of the genius and the world's smartest man, I'll rely on my incredible IQ.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you, Lanny Poffo, the genius. Incredible, man. Thank you so much. And everybody can follow you on Twitter at Lanny Poffo. They can follow you on Facebook at Lanny Poffo as well. Is there any other organizations or plugs we need to get in?
GeniusLannyPoffo.com is my website.
Okay.
Genius is GeniusLannyPoffo.com, and it's got a lot of a video section where only the finest memories are in there.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Well, I'll be checking that out later tonight.
Right?
Say that again. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Only the best memories. The rest, I have selective amnesia.
That's right. Just those 4 months, right? So anyway, well, thanks again, man. I hope you have a great night. And we'll see you here in a couple weeks. And if there's anything else you want me to do, you just let me know. All right.
And right, just so you know, it isn't the state of Kentucky; it's the Commonwealth.
That's right. That's right. They're not even a state. So
they're better than a state.
There you go. Better than a state. There you go. Awesome. Have a great night, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Bye-bye.
So there you go, guys. Leapin' Lanny Poffo, just no big deal. Just showing up on the Facebook Live, Gosh. I've come a long way, guys. That was pretty cool. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. To everyone watching, thank you so much for sharing that with me. Good Lord, that was really cool. And sorry, guys, I didn't really get to see, the comments and everything. I know a lot of you people had not you people. you folks, sorry, had lots of questions and comments and stuff about memories you'd had, and I'm sorry I can't share those. You know, when you have a few minutes with somebody like that, you just kind of gotta go with it and go from there. You know, unfortunately, I can't take questions and whatnot, but you can ask him questions yourself if you come to, you know, Paris, Kentucky and Hazard, Kentucky on May 5th and 6th. You have Lanny Poffo coming to the, you know, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and, you know, it's going to be tremendous. I can't wait to meet him in person. That was really, really fun. Guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Drusifer Tweets. You can follow the show at The Road Home FW. You can follow Primetime Wrestling at PT Wrestling, and you can follow them on Facebook at Primetime Wrestling as well. You know, thank you guys. This is really, really fun. I really appreciate it, and you know, we'll see what happens next week. I can't imagine it getting much better than this, but I can't wait till you guys see who I have next week, because it's going to be awesome. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I know it's a short one this week, but you know, stay tuned to the Road Home from Wrestling podcast, and you know, you guys will hear the audio version of that, which will live forever, and I can't wait to post that and see how many people end up listening to it. So thank you guys so much again, and have a great night.